Making news recently are the protests that took place in Ukraine, and one NAU veteran actually experienced this firsthand. Earlier this week, NAZ Today's Alexa Vegnazi sat down with student veteran Ty McNeeley to learn about his experience in Ukraine.
I'm here with Ty McNeeley, a student veteran here at NAU. And actually, he went over to Ukraine during the crisis and experienced all of the devastation there. Thank you so much for coming in today.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
So basically, can you, I guess, elaborate on your entire experience over there and explain what you did?
Well, it was a handful of different things that I did. I spent most of my time in and around the area of Independence Square, what they call Maidan, which is where the majority of the deaths happened during all of the protests, when everybody there in late February on the 20th ended up fighting with police officers. 80-something protesters were killed. The trade unions building was set on fire by the police in order to try to push the protesters out. So I spent most of my time in and around that area photographing everything that was going on. The whole square is still occupied by self-defense forces, which are interesting little groups of men and women organized into sets of 100, kind of modeling themselves after the Cossacks. They are not financed by the government. They work mainly off of donations from the people there, and they take it upon themselves to just fight on behalf of the common man.
And with that being said, I know that you also visited a military reserve training center. Can you explain that?
These are just normal everyday folks, just civilians who volunteer 3 days to go and get trained up on first aid, marksmanship, and some basic hand-to-hand combat kind of stuff. And they go out there just because many of them believe that an invasion from Russia is inevitable, and they're just doing whatever they can to try to increase their survivability in case something really terrible happens.
What can you take from this experience in Ukraine?
It's just another piece of the world that I understand a little bit more now. The history behind all of it makes a lot more sense. I now know why people do what it is that they do there, which is something that I didn't have an understanding of before. The only way that I see that we can actually understand stuff is to experience it firsthand. Just go and take a look and find out.
Well, thank you so much for coming in today. If you'd like to see more of his photos, please log on to our website at naztoday.com.